got a really cool gaming projector that we're going to be checking out on today's video. It's a brand new projector from ViewSonic called the PX706 HD. It's a projector that was designed with big screen gaming at home in mind, with a high brightness of 3000 ANSI lumens, a 1080p native resolution and a short throw lens, and it's also capable of one hell of a good image, possibly one of the best I've seen all year at 1080p. Let's talk about the PX706. The PX706 was released, I think, sometime back in July, maybe early August. This projector was designed from the ground up and heavily marketed towards gamers, with the 16.4 millisecond response time. And yes, while that might be nowhere near the 1 millisecond capability of a gaming monitor, but trust me when I say 16 milliseconds is as good as it gets on even the best of projectors when it comes to gaming. But this is also very suited to those with limited space, thanks to its wide-angle short-throw lens being able to deliver a 100-inch image from around 4.5 feet back. The MSRP on this projector, based on ViewSonic's website, is $785, but it's going on Amazon for around $700, and it's already marked on Amazon as one of their choice products, so that's always a good sign. So let me run through those all-important specs for you first. Here's a sneak peek. So this is what out-the-box settings look like on this projector. So in terms of those specs, brightness of 3000 ANSI lumens, it has 1.7 billion colours, so it's got 10-bit colour, it's got dynamic contrast ratio 22,000 to 1, the lens does have a 1.2 optical zoom. In terms of the lamp life, in dynamic eco you're going to get about 15,000 hours, in normal lamp mode you'll get 4,000. The projector's only got one single 5-watt speakers, but it does get extra marks for having 1x USB 3.1, a Type-C connector for hooking up a mobile phone. We'll talk about that later on in the video. Moving on. So initial impressions while holding the PX706 HD is the fact that it's a very boxy but compact design. I mean, the projector itself measures 30 centimeters in length, 22 centimeters in depth and only 11.5 centimeters in height, making it perfect if you're looking for a portable gaming projector. The projector also weighs 6 pounds, making it pretty light too. Along the front of the projector, the most notable thing is the inclusion of a tethered lens cover, which is always welcome, especially with a lens like this, because this has got quite a big concave design to the lens. Aside from that, we also have the front IR sensor. That's about it. Nothing but ventilation and a tie point on the left and right sides of the projector. Well, that's what you would assume when you first look at it. The reason for the large cutout on the side relates back to ViewSonic's proprietary Sonic Expert technology. What that basically means is it incorporates a large speaker chamber housing a more powerful amplifier to deliver a full 20Hz to 20 kHz sound range. I understand the thinking, but I must honestly admit I was not completely sold. This is not to say that the audio derived from this little guy produces is very bad or anything like that. In fact, the sound quality is pretty good, much better than something like Optima's HD143X. On the top of the projector you can see the bulb housing cover, you've got the zoom and the focus ring and the usual selection of buttons. The power button has 3 dots protruding and the enter key has a dash, making the selection process much easier, especially when you're in a dark room. The inclusion of the blank button and the colour mode button are also 2 buttons that physically to have on the projector is actually quite nice. On the base of the projector we also have one adjustable feet, which seems a little clunky. I'm not a fan of the oversized design here. There is also 2 fixed feet and mounting points for permanent installation of this projector instead of just placing it on the coffee table. Let's get back to the projector's main target market, which is gamers. How good is gaming mode on the PX706 HD? First, let me tell you what I was actually working with. So I tested with my old Xbox 360 and my gaming PC running on a GTX 1070. Yes, I'm not a console gamer, I am a PC gamer. Also to note, as I use a custom grey screen, I've adjusted the colour strength a little for my liking, but as a side note, Sport, Standard and Gaming mode all come in similar in terms of brightness when you actually switch between the 3 modes. Just under 2100 lumens if you're looking for a figure. With a little tolerance of maybe 200 lumens up or down, Gaming mode seems to favour a slight blue bias. I leave the brilliant colour setting at 8 just in case you guys were wondering, which is obviously the default setting. I just find increasing it further seems to saturate the image a little bit too much for my liking. One thing you will notice is if you do any manual keystone correction and you switch to the fastest gaming mode for that 16 millisecond response rate. The projector wipes your keystone correction settings. This is why I feel that a permanent installation would be the best fit for any serious gamer looking to pick up this projector. Heavy keystone correction is always best avoided for the simple reason you don't want to lose any lumens, or you may start seeing scaling artifacts which ruin the image quality. This is true for pretty much most projectors. In terms of what I thought of the gaming experience on this projector, it's very impressive. There was no notable delay from keyboard or controller press to the action being translated on the screen. The experience was very seamless. Motion blur or stuttering from scene changes on FPS games like Doom and Fortnite were again something that barely existed, even without switching to the fastest gaming optimized settings. I mean, for gaming I can recommend this projector enough, and if you're a casual or serious gamer, this is a projector that you should definitely check out further, but I would recommend a fixed installation for you serious gamers so you can switch on the fastest gaming setting. And for you unboxed junkies, what's included is you get an instruction manual with some batteries, 2 bundles of cable for the UK and Europe, and you also get a good quality Type-C cable. That cable is not only good for actually streaming content, but you can charge any USB Type-C device, as well as streaming video files from your smartphone or tablet. So next we come to fan noise. Now, while I will admit in quiet scenes, especially in movies, it's definitely audible while only using the built-in 5-watt speaker, but alas, most of you will not be using the built-in speaker. You'll be using something like a soundbar, a 5.1 setup, or even a custom speaker setup via an AV receiver and an amplifier. This is exactly what I'm using, and in that scenario the noise level is not noticeable, not even while you're watching a soap or normal TV like EastEnders for example. You can't actually hear the fan noise. So with that in mind, bullets flying or things exploding or cars accelerating away in Forza, fan noise is really not an issue on the PX706 HD. So some of you might have seen this on the community tab on our YouTube channel, or maybe just saw it on the Facebook page. Let me explain a little bit why this is now my favourite 1080p projector of 2018. In terms of image quality, this is as good as something like the HD29 or even the BenQ W2000. The image is sharp, and I mean sharp from left to right. It's crispy as they come, as long as it's set up correctly and that you don't go over the recommended 120-inch screen size. The colours also look fantastic, perfect amount of saturations, and the black levels are also on point, distinguishing different dark objects in the same scenes. It looks really good, there are no issues. Also, there's a good amount of 3-dimensional depth. Now this is very important personally for me as well, as it helps to, create that immersive experience. Brightness uniformity was also solid, granted losing a small amount on the edges, but that's never going to be the point of your focus, especially when you're playing games or even watching a movie. This is one well-rounded projector, priced well for a short throw projector. The PX706 HD deserves its gaming credentials, delivering a great gaming experience, not just for newbies or casual gamers, but for those serious gamers as well, while maintaining one of the sharpest 100-inch images at 1080p that I've seen in 2018. If you've got any questions, you know exactly what to do. I will do my best to get back to you. I'll be back with the next video. Thank you for watching. Maybe